Howdy folks, Monty here in the Bay Area. So I wanted to do a review of Warhammer Visions and also White Dwarf Weekly. So this is an old White Dwarf. I just wanted to give there as a size comparison. This is the White Dwarf Weekly, so basically almost identically the same footprint. Only I think it's, 32 pages? But you know, look, we'll get into that. So this is just the size comparison. And this is Warhammer Visions. So we were told 200 plus pages of a slightly smaller format. So actually, well, considerably smaller. It's really quite curious. I'll start with White Dwarf Weekly, because I actually quite like White Dwarf Weekly. I mean, the pity that I can't subscribe to White Dwarf Weekly, otherwise I'd get a subscription to White Dwarf Weekly. But they don't offer that, for whatever reason. I think you can buy it through the site. And it basically is, you know, like an old White Dwarf. I mean, it's less text, and this is a theme through this stuff, but you got text, you got images. Obviously, it's, you know, doing some focus on particular things, but I can't fault it, actually. I quite like White Dwarf Weekly. The $4 price tag, I'm not really sure about. But it is what it is. It serves its purpose. I'm less offended by this. But yeah, it's basically like Warhammer. Sorry, White Dwarf Light. Then we get to Warhammer Visions. And this where it gets really curious. Because this is a multi-language publication. This is like French, English, and German. In a smaller format, more pages. But I was flipping through it, and I realized that basically it's just a whole bunch of eye candy. In fact, I suspect that some of these battle shots are actually repeatedly used through it. I kind of got the impression that I'd already seen some pictures. But this is all it is. Now, it has in the text English, French, and German throughout. So the text has got to be small. There's not a lot of detailed text. There's a lot of images. And look, I mean, this one I think is one that they've rotated. There's so many images where it's just like, haven't I seen that image before? Like, again, I mean, you know, you start to wonder, maybe this is the same battle shot that they've just kind of cut up, you know, 15 different ways. There is virtually no text. Here again, a little bit of text. But yeah, you know, rotation, like, really quite curious angles and stuff too. Like, I mean, I think if they were going to go for a particular format, they might have, but look, this is what it is. It's just like a pictorial, occasionally rotated set of battle photos. Again, this is the one where I think what they did was they zoomed in on various parts of this, because I looked at this image, even though it's on its side, which is curious in terms of orientation, and I thought to myself, this is already an image I've seen. We keep on going. We keep on going. Again, another smaller part of one of the previous photos. I could have gone through and actually identified where it was a smaller part. But you just start to wonder, like, what is this thing? Again, English, French, German. Small little paragraph. Mainly just pictures. So I don't know. I mean, this isn't a reading magazine. I mean, my hope was that it was going to be like Fanatic. You know, that actually have like long text. I should have produced an issue of Fanatic so I could show that. Or, you know, one of the older, larger text-based things. But this is just like more miniature photos. Now here, this is probably the most text in the entire thing. But again, English, French, and German. You have to ponder how much it actually costs to do a certain run with English, a certain run with French, and a certain run with German, rather than putting it all together. Anyway, we've got more photos. Begin to Forge World now. Here we start the voluminous text. Again, paragraph, English, French, German. You know, more miniatures. More photos. These, thankfully, all are at least in the same rotation. I'm not sure what was going on with the Warhammer 40k photos, because they were like, these at least are all the same rotation. There's no like side rotation. which is very, very bizarre. But yeah, I mean, I appreciate this is the original issue. No, I mean, I was looking at some of these photos and I was just thinking, what is this about? You know? What is this about? You know, I mean, it's good work, but, you know, without any context, you would pick this up and think it was, I don't know. I mean, it's obviously supposed to be an inspiration publication. But the text... Anyway, so we go through, we got more pictures. These are Golden Demon winners, so you get to see a lot of interesting styles through this. Again, English, French, German, all photos. I mean, some of these photos really don't, like, I don't know, I mean, this one just struck me like, it's kind of okay in a concept, but it's not really brilliant paintwork. I mean, you know, maybe this is the section where people feel more like they could actually do this kind of stuff. I don't know. These struck me very, very strange. Like the pastel marines and the pastel... I mean, this... I don't know. This doesn't strike me as amazingly profound miniature painting. It just strikes me as kind of, you know, 3 colours and some washes. And then we get some more of these large-scale battle photos. Thankfully, I think the rotation is basically out from here. And again, more single-paragraph text. But just a lot of images. And I mean, look, if you're not a reader, if you're just looking at it, but it's almost like, I don't know. So here's a battle report, I guess. No, maybe not. So kitsch bashing article, okay, you'd think there would be some explanation here. Again, vastly pictorial, very small amount of text. And maybe this is just the thing now. You know, maybe those of us that read are, you know, secondary. Not the market for Warhammer Vision, clearly. I don't know, it almost wants to be like a coffee table book, except it's so small. It really is very, very curious. It's almost like an April Fool's Day prank come early. I mean, really, it strikes me that there just must be something going surreally wrong. And this, you know, in a White Dwarf format would have been quite interesting. But in this thing, oh, here we go. Here's one of these curious rotation pages, which just make absolutely no sense. I mean, it's kind of graphic design 101 that you don't, in a pictorial layout in one direction, put another picture in the other direction. I mean, this would never fly in most publication, but it seems to be what they're using here. I mean, this is just hideous from a layout design perspective. I mean, it's just surreal. But they seem to use it frequently. Yes, I think maybe it's just the person who did the Tyranid layout that did this strange rotation. And here it's the right way around, so it's not even consistently bad. It's like, okay, we're going to do it somewhere like this. It's just basically, and the photos are repetitive at best. So here again is another scene within a scene with a rotation. And another rotation. And yeah. And then right way for a scene. So yes. And at the back there's the store finder. And how you can get subscriptions to Warhammer Vision. And I really think they missed the boat, because all I want is a subscription to White Dwarf Weekly. I can't get that. Get the Warhammer Vision thing. And the Warhammer Vision thing is just surreal. I mean, the movement to the kind of new format White Dwarf, RIP, was pretty strange in and of itself. I mean, the new format White Dwarf, at least, you know, big pictures, glossy pictures, but text. And text in a single language. I mean, it's amazing, you know? This seems revolutionary compared to what is being offered now. Anyway, this is my first evening consuming it. I'm not going to look at it some more, but I went to YouTube to try and find any review, any discussion associated with Warhammer Vision. I didn't find anything. So I thought I've got to put something up now. Anyway, Monty in the San Francisco Bay Area, signing out.